Every year I watch hundreds of films, and after all that time in the dark, I've whittled it down to 5 films. The 5 top films that inspired me, pushed me, provoked me, challenged me, reminded me why I love this thing called film so much. So let's start with number 5.
Can you describe its form?
Annihilation is about this event on the Earth. Something smashes into the planet, and suddenly there's this giant viscous force field, and it's getting larger and larger. And every mission they send into this new area of contagion goes horribly wrong. So they decide to send in an all-female group starring Natalie Portman, Gina Rodriguez, Tessa Thompson, and many more. This is a fascinating look at ourselves, what we're capable of, and, well, nature being rewritten at the basic DNA building block level.
Anything interesting in there? No.
Now, you might have more questions than answers at the end of the film, but that is part of the provocative brilliance. Also, Best Dance Duet of the Year, starring Mrs. Portman and Mrs. Portman. Applause for Annihilation.
If life is just a series of choices, which road do I choose?
Boost is a fantastic little film that zoomed out of theaters a little too quickly for my liking. Now, this is a snapshot of the East African immigrant community in Montreal, but also very much a story of 2 friends. One is a hothead, one is somewhat of a cooler head. So you got Hakeem and Anthony. They wash cars for their job, but then they also get pulled into a crime syndicate and actually an auto theft ring.
They showed us everything we need to do to boost that shit, man. Come on, let's put that shit to practice.
It is a wonderful little movie, an example of how Canadian films are really kind of starting to make more exciting stories that also say so much about the communities today.
You have no idea, do you? Or did you choose not to know?
I can still remember the sound the audience made watching this film, the gasps, the cheers, the jeers. Now, this comes from Steve McQueen, who can be a remarkable filmmaker, 12 Years a Slave and Shame and Hunger. Typically, his movies, they kind of force you to look at things. They can almost be confrontational, but here's the secret sauce of Widows. He's working with screenwriter Gillian Flynn. So on the one hand, you have this amazing crime story with the twists, but because it's also Steve McQueen, you have a portrait of America today. You have a city, Chicago, split in terms of crime and class and race. It is a visceral thrill ride.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a movie that shouldn't work and works so incredibly well. This is from a small army of directors and writers and hundreds of animators. Yes, this is an animated spider film. And then the plot is about multiple Spider-Men, Spider-Women, a Spider-Pig.
It can get weirder.
All congregating on Brooklyn to help Miles Morales, a new Spider-Man, save the day. This is the comic book cartoon of my dreams and the Spider-Man we need today.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
So director Alfonso Cuarón decides to make a movie about growing up in Mexico, but more specifically about his nanny, this indigenous woman who helped raise him. And so he does these auditions, and he needs this very specific kind of actor, someone who is generous, who has that kindness of spirit that he associated with his real-life nanny, and he found it in Yalitza Aparicio. Now, Yalitza didn't plan on auditioning for this movie. It was her sister that was going to become the star of Roma, but the last second, her sister backs out, and Yalitza Aparicio auditions, and Cuarón says, "I've got it. I have found my Cleo." That is Roma. Roma is the story of Cleo, and the middle-class Mexican family she is taking care of in 1971. Shot in black and white with gorgeous cinematography. This is a movie that made me feel things I forgot how to feel. It is an atom bomb of empathy and a reminder of the power of cinema.